never knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I will slap you.
Go ahead, make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. Taking your phone calls at 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. Go to my Facebook fan page, click like, and you're with me. You can keep up what's going on. Thank you for being a friend. I absolutely appreciate it. My Twitter handle is at JLP Talk, at JLP Talk. Just go to my website at bondinfo.org or bondaction.org. Click on Twitter logo, then click follow, and you're there. I have with me Congressman Charles Rangel. He's a Democrat congressman out of New York, 15th Congressional District. Representative Rangel was first elected back in 1970 and participated in the Watergate investigation that led to the downfall of President Nixon. He was recently honored with an official House portrait unveiling. His memoir is called "And I Ain't Had a Bad Day Since." Congressman Rangel, good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Happy Columbus Day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Happy Columbus Day to you and the rest of my listeners. I appreciate that. You came out recently in favor of the Occupy Wall Street protests. Why do you support them?
I'm surprised that it took so long for people to say that they're dissatisfied with the lack of leadership in Washington. We have a recession for some, a depression for others. We have hopelessness. People lost their savings, their jobs, some cases their homes, and we have a gridlock in Washington. It's abundantly clear that there's a growing disparity between the increase in ranks of the poor, especially poor children, and the decline of the middle class, while a concentration of the nation's wealth remains in the top 1%. So I was surprised that since we were talking about cutting health care and Social Security, that we didn't find more of our religious leaders, Protestants, Catholics, Jews, Mormons, expressing a concern about those, that there is a biblical commitment. But anyway, it started, and obviously a lot of people agree with it, and I think it's time for Washington to start listening and to do something before the election.
Why? You would think that they would be protesting Barack Obama instead of Wall Street. Why do you think they are not protesting him?
I didn't say they were not protesting him. I'm saying
why aren't they? Why is it that they're not protesting Obama? Because that's where the real problem is.
All I'm saying is that they're dissatisfied with the conditions which they have to live in. I don't know whether they're attacking anybody. They're just saying that they are, as Americans, entitled to a better opportunity for life. So
many other protesters seem not to know why they're there. They some of them have said, "Well, I don't know why I'm here. I'm just mad. I don't know what I'm mad about." They're against capitalism. They want socialism. They don't, and they are supported by the unions and other liberal groups. They don't seem to know why they're there. Are you concerned about that?
Not at all. Most of the people in America that are frustrated, they can't say exactly why they're frustrated. It could be a loss of job. It could be that they had to pull their kids out of school. But I think anyone listening is not satisfied with the way the American economy has gone. And I would hope that everyone would be there. You know, the government is not just the president and the Supreme Court. We got 100 senators. We got 435 members of the House of Representatives. I would think that Americans just don't wait until the election, but to call and to say there's something wrong, as hard as I work, that I can't get ahead. This will be the first generation that our kids have less of an expectation of succeeding than we did, or our parents before us.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I read that you were chased off when you visited the protests in New York. Is that true?
No, that wasn't true. They were anxious to march across the bridge, and they had really held up the rally until I got there, and so they were anxious to move on. But even if it was true, I am a part of government, and I would understand it even if they did. But there weren't enough people there to report accurately what happened.
That was a protest down in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. And according to a report, Congressman John Lewis was silenced from speaking at that protest as well.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're not aware of that? I want you to listen to this short comment on. Let's go to soundbite 1. There.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I won't be able to comment on. I just was providing a courtesy to share with you my views. But
let me ask you this: and how do you feel about there's 16% of Black Americans are unemployed today, and I think nationwide is 9.1. How do you feel about the the rate of Black folks who are unemployed, and who is to blame for that?
I guess most people believe that it's a terrible thing when we have that type of unemployment for anyone, white or black. Of course, it's abundantly clear that since blacks have traditionally been in the lower income with lesser opportunities in school and job opportunities, that when you just passed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, that America follows the last high at the first fight. And so high school dropouts are much higher. And so it's painful, but it's no surprise. I'm surprised that you would ask that question, because I don't see how anyone would take any particular satisfaction out of those raw statistics.
Well, a lot of people are blaming Wall Street for it. They're blaming the bankers for it. I blame the lack of responsibility in the black community. The fathers, for the most part, are not raising the children, and many of them are relying on the government. I believe that if they relied on themselves, then the unemployment rate wouldn't be so high. Am I wrong in that?
Well, you called to ask my opinion. I certainly didn't call you to ask your opinion.
What do you think about that? Am I wrong? And do you think that the lack of two parents?
I'm not here to debate. Where are you calling from? Where is your station located?
Do you think it's a lack of two parents?
I just asked you because someone put your name and number on my list to call to discuss my views on the Wall Street protest.
Right, and we'll discuss that, but
I just asked you, could you tell me where your station is that you're calling from?
I'm out of Los Angeles, California.
I see. Well, I really think that maybe a lot of people want to hear what you have to say about what you think the problem is, but I didn't call you.
No, I'm asking you, how much of a role does it play in that the family is not intact and too much dependence on government and there's such high unemployment rate in the black community?
Well, I don't think that you are asking me a question. I think you're expressing your view. And like I said, it's your radio show, and you can just talk and talk.
I know, but you're not.
People how you view.
I'm asking you. You're the congressman there in Detroit. I believe in New York, Harlem area there. How much of a role does that play in the high unemployment rate within the black community, or is Obama or this administration to blame for it?
Well, I can't speak for the black community, mister, and I would assume that you have enough problems in California to call representatives out there rather than to call all the way across the United States to get my views, but I'm on the way to the protest right now, and it was kind of you to think of me to get my views, and I hope your listeners are satisfied with the racist views that you have.
Let me ask, since you want to answer that, is there a comparison between the Tea Party and the folks who are occupying Wall Street?
I don't know anybody from the Tea Party, so I couldn't answer that for you. But if you would allow me, I told your operator that I had to
let me take
leave.
a quick break. Hold on a moment there, sir. Let me take a quick break.
Pull back the cover. Shades. God, it's a raid.
888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. I had with me Congressman Charles Rangel, a Democrat out of New York. He ran. He hung up, folks. He was scheduled for 30 minutes to talk about Occupy Wall Street, and the guy put his tail between his legs and ran. Yeah. Chicken. A chicken. There you have it. So if you happen to be down on Wall Street today, you see Congressman Charlie Rangel there. Ask him why did he put his tail between his legs and take off like that. See if you see a guy with his tail between his legs. The guy ran. Isn't that amazing?
This has been the Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show, produced by Bond Action. To purchase individual shows or special packages, or to make a donation, visit us on the web at bondaction.org, call 1-877-932-2877, or write to us at P.O. Box 35586, Los Angeles, California, 90035.